left the last part for this chapter, correct? Still remember what is this?
No.
Huh?
I honestly tell you, I don't remember.
Forgot already. This one we have started the tutorial 3 for the languages, the tutorial, right? So the starting question for the tutorial is asking whether you can determine the string given is in the LG or not, right? So this chapter overall is to study the languages for the correct grammar and the semantics. Okay, so we have the components of V0, which is the non-terminal starting point, and then after that we have the set S, which are all the terminal symbol inside. Terminal symbol means that all the symbol used to form the final sentence. And also we have V, set V, which are include the non-terminal and terminal inside the set. Okay, so all the terminal inside the set S, it will be inside the set V also. And what is extra in the set V, it will be non-terminal. So we cannot use that to form the final sentence, like V0, V1, V2. Okay, so of course the last component will be the substitution. So that are the component in the languages, and you have gone through all this, how to write in the BNF notation, how to draw the tree diagram, derivation of tree, and then the regular expression, this one, how do we want to write the regular expression, if it is a loop, if there is alternative, if it is in one group, how do we want to write it? So you have the bracket, you have the asterisk for the loop, and you have the alternative or for if there is any alternative you can choose, so we will use or, right? So all these are the regular expression. Now we have the example here that asking to write the LG if the diagram given is like this. So as I told you before, if it is the master diagram, then we don't have the non-terminal inside. Only the syntax diagram, we have non-terminal. Okay, so this one is considered as a master diagram. Then they ask you to write the LG. So you have alternative here. You see the way you can go out, A or B or C. 3 different ways to go out, right? So in this case, where you want to write the LG, you need to refer to the alternative here. You just write it as A or B or C because this is a loop. So we will just put it as asterisk, C asterisk. Okay? And for this one, this is alternative also for A or B. You can go through by one way only. So we will have A or B, put it in the bracket, and then go to C. You must go through C, yeah? And when you go pass by C, you can straight away go out, or you can go to the loop D. Now, if you don't go to the loop D, straight away go out, so the asterisk here will be 0, no D. Then if you go to the loop, then it depends on how many times you loop the D. So the asterisk here can be 0, 1, 2, 3 until infinity. Okay? So this is how we write the LG for this. And for this one, because the loop is under the line, so that means every time when you go down the loop here, it can be either you go to A or you go to BC. Either one. So if you choose to loop the A, then the A here will be, you choose the A, because this one, why we put in the bracket? Because every time when you loop for one time, you can only choose one of them. Either you loop A or BC. You cannot loop both of them together. So we need to put in a bracket instead of like this. This is not correct. Okay? So when you put the bracket, it means that when I loop one time, asterisk is 1, I choose A or BC. So let's say the first one I choose A, then my string is A. If I loop the second time, I choose the BC, then my string will be continue with BC. Third time, I can have A, fourth time A, fifth time A, sixth BC, and so on. Okay? If you write like this, the difference in the string that we get is, I loop A, so I will have A, then I loop BC. So I will have BC, 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 BC. That means it cannot be alternate for the string that we get here. Here, if I loop every time, I can choose A or BC. But here is, you loop A, then after you loop BC, you cannot loop A anymore. You see the difference? Okay? So when we write, we need to see the diagram whether we can loop A only or we have alternative to choose. So if there is alternative, then you need to put them in the bracket, then only asterisk. Okay, huh? You can see the difference of these two, huh? Now, we still have a lot of example later on, don't worry, huh? So we have this now. Instead of the diagram is given, you write the regular expression. Now, if let's say this expression is given, can you draw the diagram or not? So opposite way lah, both way also we need to know how to do. Let's say we see the first one. So we start from the easy example first. A, B, C, or D, E. Now, when you have A, B, C, or D, E, it means that these are alternative, right? So one way go to A, B, C, one way go to D, E, right? Okay, so we draw two different ways. Huh? These are the two ways. One go out from ABC, one go out from DE. Okay, second one. If you have A, B, and then a bracket C or D, E, how do we want to draw this? Whenever the AB there is no asterisk, means that you must go through the AB. Same also for the E, and also C or D. Okay, so this is alternative. So then we will draw one line. Pass through the AB first, followed by the alternate between C or D, then go to E. The C, D is the alternative way, so you can go through once only, either C or D. So the arrow is important. If it's only go to the right, then your arrow must point to the right like this. Because sometimes there is a loop, then the arrow need to go back. Okay, so the direction is important. Don't forget about your arrow. Third one, A, B, C, asterisk D. So we go to we go to ABC Estate A. You see this one, the C Estate, huh? The C Estate is the loop, right? So we will loop this one. No sound already, right? Okay, we will look. This one, you draw this first. So we will see the asterisk here is the loop. That's why we draw it under the line. Okay, look back to this part after the B. So we will loop it every time. That's why the arrow is going back. You cannot go to the right. Okay. Now you draw the part 4 and part 5 first. I call the person in charge. If you have done number 4, then you try number 5.
So this is the BC is a loop here. So we will loop the BC, and this is a alternative E or F. So we have this. How about number 5? Many ways to draw for this. So see how you draw.
When you verify code.
this. This is the simple way to draw. If you follow exactly what is given here, so you have ABC on the line, then the BC loop, D on the line, E or F. E or F is a loop, right? So this one any different or not? Can we draw to the right? Anyone draw like this? No, huh? Okay. So what should we draw is, if let's say this one is E or F, no asterisk, you draw like this. But if this one there is asterisk, then you need to draw a line here. Okay? And then the arrow, there is a difference here. So the arrow you need to go to left. That means after this line, right? Then you go to the left E, go to the left F. See the difference? Okay. If let's say just now I draw like this. This one is you go to the right only. So that means it's either you go to E or F. You cannot go back anymore. Okay? If you draw like this. So we don't go through the middle one. The middle here, no line. Okay? But if this is a loop, like this one, then you need to go through the middle line first. Then only you can go back to E or go back to F. So you need to go through this one line. This line first. Then only you choose either you loop the E or you loop the F. Okay? But this one, how we write this, we will only write it as E or F. Only like this. So when you go to the right, you will only choose either you go E or you go F. Either one only. Okay? That is the difference. This one is E or F. Asterisk. Okay, so any other way to draw this?
Miss, I do something like this.
This arrow zip. This one you need to go to the left. Need to look properly lor the arrow. Instead of this one okay. Instead of too complicated don't need to draw the line inside here. Just put if you put like this, right? You just put it here. Then you don't need to line inside because if you have a line like this, here you need to put arrow, here you need to put arrow also. Inside and outside. You need to put arrow. Okay, any different way to draw beside this? I think some of you share the BC, right? If let's say this BC you don't want to draw 2 times, you can draw like this. Then like this, you can share the BC already. If your BC, this one on the line one, then you loop, right? You loop the loop under the line, then you don't need to draw the BC under the loop anymore, because you already have the BC here. See the difference? This one and this one. If your loop is after the BC, then you need to write the BC under the loop. But if your loop is after and before the BC, then you don't need to write the BC. Then for the E or F also the same. E, you can go down the loop here, or F, it can be together either below or both above the line. Okay, but you need to put properly the arrow need to go back to the left. I think most of you draw these two only, right? Any other different one? Okay, most are like this, So that is the second chapter for languages. Now we have some extra example below. So these are the questions that you can do in order to be more familiar to how to draw this. Okay, and this type of question, how they ask. So we look at some of the example. Any question for the previous part of the notes? Do you have anything to ask? No? Okay, then I go to extra example first. Okay, this one given in the BNF form already. So they ask you to list the non-terminal symbol. Can you tell me which one is the non-terminal? Non-terminal? In bracket or no bracket? In the bracket. So we have B0, B1, B2. Terminal? Terminal, you have all the no bracket one. So you have A, B, C, D, E. Okay, then draw the syntax diagram. Try to do first, Try to do,
Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Testing. Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Tukar buat lah. Main salah satu. Betul, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Fish, you nak kuat mana? You terus cakap. So kita boleh adjust ikut yang boleh.
Testing. Can you hear me? Yes, ah?
Dia tak macam ekor.
Testing. Clear? Sound?
Macam dia tak. Ya. Tak ada choice. Tak ada choice. AM lah.
Okay, we look at the syntax diagram here. Now, syntax diagram, they have no such a restriction like the master diagram. So we can draw one for V0, one for V1, and one for V2. Okay, if you want to draw 3 for V0, also no problem. Okay, so we draw one by one. V0. This is a loop, The V0 here, you can have AB go back or AC go back, and then after that the BB go to V1. This is one of the way if you want to combine the V0 in one diagram. Okay? If you want to separate the V0 to 3, you can do so also, no problem. You can do it like this. this one is you separate the three different diagram. So the V0, AB go back V0, B0 go AC go back B0, or B, B, V1. So three different diagrams for V0 itself. But if you don't want to separate, you can draw combined for V0 like this. Then for V1 also the same. V1 you can draw the 3 also in 1. Get the same diagram with me? Do you have the same? So the syntax, do you remember the syntax diagram? We need to draw the non-terminal also. So the V1 and V2, you need to show it in your diagram. And the last one, the V2. V2 go to the loop, go back to V2, and then or the loop V2 go to E straight away, go out. Two different ways, either loop back or go out. If you want to draw one E also no problem, but the loop need to be like this. Also acceptable. The E go out or look back to V2. Other possible way to draw? So maybe you can have other way to draw, not necessarily must be exactly like this. As long as the flow of the diagram is correct, the substitution is correct, then okay already. Okay? What happens if let's say we want to have a master diagram? This is the question asking for the syntax diagram, right? If let's say the question asks you to draw the master diagram, how do we want to combine all the three to one diagram? Can we draw that or not? Yes, right? Okay, so we try to draw that one. Combine all the V0, V1, V2 in one diagram. Your master diagram can be like this. This is one of the most simple way to draw. Follow exactly the substitution given in the question. How many AB, how many BB? I follow exactly, so I don't share the number of B. I just draw whatever given in the PNF form. Then you will get it like this. Okay? Of course, we can have more simplified form where we can share the BB and we can share the E. But what you draw basically must be like this, the floor. If you have the floor like this, then your master diagram is correct already. Okay, if I share the BB now, okay, now I draw another one, share the BB and share the E.
这没睡觉。3번 부인이 좋습니다. 가능성이 나이스 같아요.
You have the diagram like this?
Yes.
Yes. Then if you draw like this, means that it is more simplified. But if you cannot share, don't do it. You just follow whatever given in the BNF, draw it, follow exactly how many B, how many E. That is the safest way. Okay? But if you are sure that the one you share is correct, then no problem, you can do so. For this one, anyone have different diagram that you're not sure correct or not? You want me to check? You can let me see it if you have other than this. So the AB and AC, because it is going back to V0, then we must draw it under the loop. You cannot draw your AC and the AB on the line. Remember this? Whoever diagram draw the AB or AC for these two, if you draw it on the line, that means it is not correct. Okay? Because it is not compulsory for us to go to AB or AC since it is going back to V0. So we will only go to the right, which is V1, in order that we can go to V2 and after that we can go out from E. That is what we need to go through. So the one that you need to go through, you need to put it on the line. Let's say this is the BB, so the BB must be on the line. After that, you have the C or D to go to V2, these two, so you must go through once. Either go through C or D, and at the V2 here, you must pass by at least one E. Then only you can go out. So you can see whatever on the line is the one that you need to pass by. to get a correct language. Okay? So now you need a break or not? Okay, so take a 5 minutes break.